Footage of Rihanna and A$AP Rocky arguing music inside a Sprinter van after the 2026 Met Gala has completely blown up online, and fans have been trying to figure out what went wrong ever since. But now new reports claim Rihanna confessed to something she did behind Rocky's back, while other reports are accusing A$AP Rocky of cheating, too. Let me catch you up on what's happening. On the evening of May 4, 2026, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky walked the red carpet at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New Music, York City, for the 2026 Met Gala. The theme was costume art, and Rihanna, music in classic fashion, arrived nearly an hour after everyone else had already gone inside. She wore a sculptural gold Maison Margiela gown, describing herself as the art and the artist. Rocky stood beside her, and by all visible accounts, they walked in arm. But what happened during the event and after it told a different story, at least to the millions of people who watched the clips on social media. A video was posted to X by user Slonica on May 5, and it showed A$AP Rocky talking with two women while Rihanna was being interviewed by a reporter just a few steps away from him. Rihanna, looking visibly fatigued, watched Rocky speak to one of the women. When a media person approached her for an interview, she turned her attention to answering questions. Rocky, meanwhile, was engrossed in the conversation behind her. At some point, he noticed Rihanna giving interviews and walked over to join her. But fans were quick to notice that when Rocky joined, the singer did not acknowledge him directly. That clip alone sent the internet music spiraling, but it wasn't the only one. A second video surfaced, this one from TMZ, showing Rihanna and A$AP Rocky inside a Sprinter van after leaving the gala. In it, the pair appeared to be having what looked like a tense emotional conversation. At moments, they seemed a bit annoyed with each other, and the video quickly spread across X, where fans debated whether Rihanna and A$AP Rocky were simply exhausted or dealing with relationship issues behind the scenes. Some called it normal couple behavior after a long, exhausting night. Others in music were certain they were witnessing a relationship crumbling in real time. And then the two clips got connected. Music, the internet decided that the reason for the van argument was the woman Rocky had been talking to on the carpet. The social media reaction was split right down the middle. Some fans insisted Rihanna simply after hours at the Met Gala, music, and media interviews. Others thought the videos were being massively over-analyzed. And then there were people convinced the clips proved music, there was real tension happening behind the scenes. To understand why the internet reacted this way, why two short clips with no audio could turn into a full-blown investigation into a celebrity relationship, you have to understand what this couple has been through. Because this is not the first time rumors of betrayal, tension, and secrets have followed Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, not by a long shot. Music, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky first became friends back in 2013. He was the opening act on the North American leg of her Diamonds World Music Tour that spring. That same year, Rihanna played his love interest in the music video for Fashion Killer, a track in which he even raps the words "Her attitude Rihanna. She get it from her mama." The chemistry between them was unmistakable even then, but at that point, they were just music friends. Both were seeing other people. Both were navigating their own very public, very messy love lives. It wasn't until 2020 that things changed. On January 22 of that year, people confirmed Rihanna had split with Hassan Jameel. Music after 3 years of dating, and the turnaround was rapid. Just 6 days later, The Sun reported that Rihanna had become romantically involved with A$AP Music Rocky. A source at the time said they had shared a hotel suite during that trip in New York and described the situation as really casual. Rihanna was described as a newly single girl having fun. But from the very start, this relationship existed under a specific cloud. Before ever dating Rihanna, Music, A$AP Rocky had made eyebrow-raising remarks about relationships and monogamy. In a 2015 interview with ID, he said, "My best times with women is when I'm honest. Music I tell her I might another woman. It helps. He also added that when the time came to settle down, he might just have 2 girlfriends. Music those quotes would be dug up again and again in the years to come. Every time a new rumor surfaced, Music, the couple grew closer during the COVID-19 pandemic. They quarantined together, and Rihanna later described that time as foundational to what they became. In her April 2022 Vogue cover story, she said of Rocky, "He became my family in that time." She also acknowledged the difficulty of transitioning from friendship to romance, telling the magazine that people don't get out of the friend zone very easily with me, but Rocky did. By 2021, they were one of the most talked about couples in entertainment. Music, they attended the Met Gala together that year. Rihanna in a black Balenciaga gown, Rocky in a custom EIL quilt over a tuxedo. The couple that had Music been friends for almost a decade were now fully, publicly together. And then came the first bomb. In January 2022, Rihanna announced she was pregnant with their first child. Music, the reveal was done in classic Rihanna fashion, walking through the cold streets of Harlem with her bump exposed. Music, no official announcement, no carefully staged photo shoot, just paparazzi catching her on a winter walk with Rocky by her side. But in April 2022, while Rihanna was still pregnant, the internet detonated. Fashion influencer Louis Pisano posted a now-deleted tweet claiming that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky have split. Rihanna broke up with him after she caught him cheating with shoe designer Amina Mwadi. The tweet went further, alleging that A$AP and Amina had history together, and that things apparently hit the fan at Craig's in LA, a celebrity hotspot. The unverified claims went viral in hours, making Rihanna the #1 trending topic on Twitter. Gossip account Dumois fanned the flames by posting a picture of Rihanna and Rocky at the same restaurant where she allegedly cried and kicked the table. The chaos was immense, and the cruelest part was who was being named. Amina Mwadi wasn't some random person. She was Rihanna's own collaborator. Mwadi designed footwear for Rihanna's Fenty brand, and the singer was frequently photographed wearing her shoes. If it was true, it was the deepest kind of betrayal. Rocky sleeping with one of Rihanna's own people while she was carrying his baby. But then the denials came in fast. A source connected to both artists told TMZ the cheating and breakup rumors were 100% false on both counts, and 1,000,000% not true. Mwadi herself issued a statement on Instagram calling the rumors vile and fabricated with malicious intent. She pointed out the timing. Rihanna was in her 3rd trimester, and this should have been one of the most celebrated times in her life. Twitter sleuths also noted that just days before the rumor broke, Rihanna had posted herself wearing Amina Mwadi's shoes on Instagram, and Mwadi had reposted the images. Something that would make zero sense if Mwadi had been involved in breaking up the relationship. Still, fans noticed one strange detail. Rihanna had unfollowed Mwadi on Instagram. Mwadi still followed Rihanna and Rocky, but Rihanna had quietly removed her. Neither Rihanna nor Rocky ever directly addressed the allegations. The rumors faded, but they didn't disappear. They became part of the couple's story. If the cheating rumors were the first major crack in the public's perception of this couple, what came next made those look trivial. In April 2020, the same month the Amity Mawad scandal was sweeping the internet, A$AP Rocky was arrested upon returning to Los Angeles from a trip with Rihanna to her native Barbados. The charges had nothing to do with Rihanna. They stemmed from a confrontation on November 6, 2021 in Hollywood with his former friend Terrell Efron, known as A$AP Rocky. The two had been friends since high school in Harlem and were both members of the A$AP Mob Collective, but their relationship had soured badly over the years. Rocky was charged with 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. A$AP Rocky claimed Rocky had pulled a pistol, pointed it at him, and shot at him multiple times with one bullet grazing his knuckles. Rocky's defense team had a completely different version of events. They argued that the weapon Rocky held that night was a prop gun from a music video he filmed in July 2021 with Rihanna music, and that it could only fire blanks. The case loomed over the couple for years. Rocky was free on bail, but the threat of up to 24 years in prison hung over him. Meanwhile, he and Rihanna were building a family. Their first son, RZA, was born in May 2022. Their second, Riot Rose, arrived in 2023. Through all of it, the trial sat in the background, an unresolved weight on everything they did. The trial finally began in January 2025. It became a spectacle. AAP Rocky took the stand and described the alleged shooting in vivid detail. Rocky's attorney, Joe Tacopina, tore into Rocky's credibility, calling him a pathological liar, and pointing to evidence that suggested Rocky was more interested in a financial settlement than criminal prosecution. The defense also presented recordings of someone who sounded like Rocky discussing payment in exchange for dropping the case. Though Rocky claimed the recording was fabricated, and through it all, Rihanna was there. She attended the trial 5 times during the 3-week proceedings. She sat between Rocky's mom and his sister. She brought their 2 sons to the closing arguments, which the prosecutor actually objected to, saying the jury should not consider how this might affect Rihanna and his kids. On February 18, 2025, the verdict came in. Not guilty. The jury of 7 women and 5 men deliberated for just 3 hours. Music. When the words were read aloud, the courtroom exploded into screaming and cheers. Rocky sprinted from the defense table and dove into Rihanna's arms. She wrapped herself around him, and they both sobbed. He turned to the jurors and said, "Thank you all for saving my life." Outside the courthouse, Music. Rocky told reporters, "This whole experience has been crazy for the past 4 years. I'm thankful, and it's blessed to be here right now, to be a free man talking to y'all." Rihanna posted to her Instagram story that night, "The glory belongs, music, to God and God alone. Thankful, humbled by His mercy." They had survived the trial, but peace would not last. Less than 3 weeks after Rocky's acquittal, the couple welcomed a new chapter. In September 2025, their daughter Rocky Irish Myers was born. Music. The couple had revealed the pregnancy at the 2025 Met Gala, and both parents had expressed their hope for a girl. Sources told People that Rihanna was over the moon about adding a daughter to their family. It seemed like the couple had finally turned a corner. Music. 3 kids, a not guilty verdict, billions in business, and the kind of public image most celebrity couples dream about. Then came March 8, 2026. On that Sunday afternoon, around 1:15 p.m., lapped officers were called to the couple's Beverly Crest neighborhood home after receiving reports of a shooting. A woman later identified as 35-year-old Ivana Lizette Ortiz, of Orlando, Florida, had allegedly driven a white Tesla to the property and opened fire using an AR-15 style rifle. Rihanna was present along with the Music. ASAP Rocky, their 3 children, her mother, and 2 staff members. 10 people total inside the home. Rihanna and Rocky were inside an Airstream camping trailer parked on the property. According to the police report read in court, Rihanna told detectives she was sitting at a window seat when she heard 10 loud sounds that sounded like banging on metal. When she pulled back a curtain, she Music saw bullet holes in the front window. She ran to the back of the trailer where Rocky was sleeping and woke him up. ASAP Rocky told police Rihanna shouted that someone was shooting at them as she woke him. They then ran inside the house to check on their children, Rihanna's mother, and their staff. The damage was extensive. 2 bullets hit the double-paned window of the Airstream Music, but did not go through. A third struck the trailer side. Most chillingly, a bullet hole was found on the exterior wall of the home's second-floor nursery, where the couple's 3 children and a nanny were when the shooting happened. Music. 3 more bullet fragments were found in the porch area. 10 bullet holes were found in the property's gates and walls. A neighboring home was also struck. Police located Ortiz about 8 miles away, at the Sherman Oaks Galleria shopping center. She was found alone in her car, with the rifle used in the shooting and a blonde wig she had been using as a disguise. In the trunk were additional ammunition and a 30-round magazine. Authorities believe Ortiz drove from Florida to LA specifically for this attack. She was charged with 14 felonies including attempted murder, music, and faces life in prison if convicted. The lapped investigation uncovered a series of strange social media posts by Ortiz mentioning Rihanna. She had a Facebook post from February 23 where she mentioned and tagged the singer. Public records showed she had been a licensed speech pathologist for over a decade, had a history of domestic violence arrests, music, and had once been involuntarily committed, and lost custody of her child. Hours after arrest, she told detectives she wasn't attempting murder, then invoked her right to counsel and stopped talking. Music, she pleaded not guilty at her arraignment. This was a family that had barely processed the relief of a not guilty verdict, and now had to process the reality that their children had bullets landing near their nursery. So, when Rihanna and A$AP Rocky walked into the 2026 Met Gala on May 4, they were walking in as a couple who had survived a cheating scandal, a felony trial, and a shooting, all in the span of 4 years. And they walked in together, arm in arm, with Rihanna in a sculptural Maison Margiela gown, and Rocky in a look that included a handcrafted necklace by New York City jeweler Brianna Raymond, the woman Rocky was seen talking to in that viral clip. She was identified. Her name is Giovanna Battaglia Engelbert, an Italian fashion editor and stylist, who has known Rihanna for years. Sources told TMZ she has a lot of respect for Rihanna. And here is the detail the viral clip did not show. Rihanna was actually talking to Giovanna first. The two were laughing together before Giovanna continued the conversation with Rocky nearby. Giovanna was reportedly joking around with Rocky about his necklace while Rihanna handled an interview a few feet away. As for the fan footage, sources close to the couple told TMZ they had been going non-stop for nearly 16 hours that day, bouncing between prep, appearances, and the main event. It was a long day, and they were running on empty, one source said. TMZ sources specifically stated the video shows nothing more than two people who were wiped out, and that the conversation wasn't some big blowout. Even the man, who originally filmed the video of Rocky allegedly ignoring Rihanna, spoke out. He wrote on Instagram, the couple was talking with them on the red carpet at the Met Gala. She was not unhappy, and everyone in that circle know each other. So, please stop. He added, the couple is very much in love. Witnesses who attended the Met Gala told TMZ that the couple appeared happy together throughout the evening. There was also an April Fool's Day post from a parody account on April 1, 2026, that had falsely claimed A$AP Rocky cheated and the couple broke up. A hoax that some fans had never stopped believing, which added fuel to everything that came after. No court filings, no police records, no statements from representatives, and no on-the-record sources music have emerged to support any claims of infidelity or a split. So, what's the truth here? The truth is this: Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are a couple who have been put through more public scrutiny, fabricated music rumors, legal battles, and physical danger than most people could endure in a lifetime. The internet turned a 5-second no-audio clip from a red carpet into an overnight relationship investigation, because this is how celebrity culture works in 2026. Music, a 5-second clip with no audio can somehow become an entire relationship investigation overnight. And because this is Rihanna and Rocky, the speculation exploded even music faster. Every time something surfaces, a tired look, a conversation with the wrong person, a van ride caught on music camera, it gets filtered through the lens of every rumor, every allegation, and every scandal that came before. Rihanna did not confess to anything. Rocky did not snap. What happened at the Met Gala was two parents of 3 children, who had been away for 16 music hours, drained by the performance of being public figures on fashion's biggest night, heading home. The woman Rocky spoke to was someone both he and Rihanna know. The argument in the van was not confirmed as an argument by anyone who was actually there. But the internet didn't need confirmation. It never does. And until this couple steps apart, music, or steps forward with their own words, the cycle will continue. Every tired music glance and misread moment turned into a confession that never happened.